Devin's back again. Devin's back. Tell a friend. Sing song timestamp. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Devin, your friendly neighborhood board gamer, and this is Devin Talks Tabletop, a YouTube channel where the games are made up and what I say doesn't matter. Thanks for being here. I am opening, that was a little risky. I'm opening Libertalia, which I was not a early review content creator for it. I was a reviewer or content creator that asked to get it at a later point, but I did not receive. It's kind of like a random selection how Jamie does it, which is totally fair, because it means that sometimes you are not beholden to the fact of the size of your audience. It means that some reviewers who may not typically get a big game like this, which could build their audience by people seeing their reviews and liking their content, it means that those people have a better chance of getting in on it. So I appreciate it to an extent. Yeah, I was fascinated by this, not right away. I know that it, is a much anticipated remake of the original Libertalia. It has changed its art. I think it's kind of like animals now instead of humans. It has been reimagined, and not just like a reprint with new art. It is like the gameplay has been tweaked and changed and improved. Yeah, so this is Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. The reason why I became much more interested in it, actually at Gamma, than I was prior to my understanding of the game, is when I realized that the designer was Paolo Mori, who did both Blitzkrieg and Hail Caesar, which I think are fantastic games. So as soon as I realized that he was the designer, the original designer, and this designer, I was much more interested. So I got it. I got it at a later point, and I know that like my biggest excitement is typically Game Trace. Like their organizers are usually the go-to for me. And this could be a Game Trace. It's possible. But if it's not, at the end of the day, what it is just an additional Stonemaier insert that just works. It gets everything in the game. It locates it, isolates it where you want it. And that is just so much better, right? And also, like, I think that I'm trying to figure out what kind of material of plastic this is. I think it's becoming more of an industry-wide expectation or habit to reduce the amount of plastic and stuff. And this is still plastic, but it's a very different kind of plastic. It almost feels recycled. Compostierbar. Now that looks like a symbol of somebody that is like they only do recycled plastic, which is interesting. Oh wait. Oh. Well, that's not a typically throwawayable thing. Interesting. Interesting. I don't really know anything about this game, guys. I am coming to it from a relative point of ignorance, which is totally okay. It's how I approach most things in life. But I'm excited because, isn't it? I'm trying to think. Seriously? Another big truck. At a certain point, it's just disrespectful. At a certain point, it's disrespectful, me saying that it's disrespectful, because they're just doing their job. But it also means, like, I'm just going to watch you. This one isn't as cool as the other one. It doesn't have that really neato conveyor belt. It's just a big old arm that dumps it into that little net catch. But the other one looks way cooler. Let me see. Yeah, it's just a big old arm. I mean, it's intimidating. It kind of reminds me, like the robotic arm of that reminds me of like BattleBots. Did you ever watch BattleBots? Just looks like something that's like and crush, whatever opponent is right there. So yeah, the nice thing about this is I don't have to worry too much about where these cards are going to go, because they're not really going to go anywhere because the insert's going to lock them down. Yeah, so I don't really know much about this, to be honest. Here, I guess I can see if the rules are there, and I can do that while I'm opening it. But Blitzkrieg and Caesar are elegant games. So little there in terms of like components and rules overhead, but so much in the decision making. Like what players have to decide in those games is so much fun to explore or think about. I said so twice, even stopping to think about it and be frustrated by it, and then I still did it. We're going to talk about the flavor text. In the world of Galecrest, sky pirates set sail in the winds in search of adventure, treasure, and glory. As an admiral, you command a vast and varied crew, but so do your rivals sailing other ships in the pirate fleet. Each day, the fleet lands on a different island where you'll send a crew member to collect your share of the loot, hoping they'll return to boost your growing group of characters. Libertalia was originally released in 2012. 10 years later, we're celebrating the foundations of the original design with a revised and expanded edition that includes all new art, 40 characters per player, a reputation system to resolve tiebreakers, deluxe loot tokens, a robust solo mode, and much more. Is this like worker placement? Is it deck building? What do we got going on here? We got some cool stuff. Visually some cool stuff. I need help. There we go. That's how you get it open. But yeah, I'm really excited to check it out, because here's the thing. I am, for the most part, a Stonemaier fan. I enjoyed Pendulum when I think a lot of other people didn't. It's not a game that I'll pick to play all the time, and it is eventually one that might leave my collection. But I did enjoy it. And my wife enjoyed it too. I also, contrary to what some people think, I think Tapestry is a great game. Really enjoy Tapestry. My wife and I play that at 2-player and really have a good time with it. The expansions do add a good bit. Arts and Architecture is substantial for the 5th board that it gives, and for some of the other possibilities that are added in there. That's a substantially good. What goes in here? Maybe the doubloons go in here, and maybe these tiles go in there. That kind of looks like what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna put, because I'm assuming the loot tokens all go in here. That just seems right. It's just not gonna close. I will say this, the quality of drawstring bags that most games have, piss poor on the drawstring bags. This thing does not even affect. Why not just have a bag that just has a top like this? Because the drawstring doesn't really do anything. If we're being honest, it doesn't draw string. It doesn't close. So not sure why it's there. But yeah. The board looks pretty nice. Like, it doesn't look as big as I thought it was going to be, actually, which is interesting. A game of Libertalia takes place over 3 voyages or rounds. Each voyage begins with players gaining an identical set of 6 character cards. Every day during the voyage, players simultaneously select one character from their hand to play. Those characters are placed on the island from lowest to highest rank. Oh, interesting. Player reputation breaks ties. Players will activate daytime abilities on those characters in ascending order, then dusk abilities and loot selection in descending order, with characters entering each player's ship. Lastly, night abilities on characters in ships activate. At the end of the voyage, players will activate any anchor abilities on characters and score their loot tokens into doubloons. They will then discard those characters' loot tokens into doubloons, keeping only their hands of characters that were not played. At the end of the 3rd voyage, players reveal their final scores to determine who history who history will remember as the wealthiest pirate. I like this. And this is the same kind of style of game design that I appreciate from Paolo. It's not overly complex. You have character cards, and you're given 6 at the beginning of each voyage, and you'll use some of them, but not all of them. And then the ones that you don't use will carry forward, but the ones that each player doesn't use will be different. So the manner in which you decide which character is most valuable to play now or later is important. Simple choices on the player part, depth of decision. I like this. I'm excited. This is making me excited. This is making me excited. Boop, 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 boop. So, yeah, I think that I'm typically a Stonemaier fan at the end of the day. Most of their games I like. Red Rising is one that if I had not read the books, I would not have liked it as much, I don't think. But because I read the books, I liked it a lot more than if I hadn't read, or than if the game was the game, but just not based off of an IP, it would have been a fine game. But because it was based off of an IP, if you're familiar with the IP, I think it makes it substantially better. As long as you're familiar with the IP. If you're not, it just becomes a lot of reading. Because, and not really an understanding of why characters are connected to each other. But if you've read the books, you already understand why the characters are connected to each other, and you just can appreciate what's going on there. Which I do appreciate what's going on there, because they did a really good job of crafting a like setup of character relationships within those cards that made sense based off of if you know it. So Red Rising is another one that I think a lot of people were just okay about, but that I think is quite special if you know the books. So I'm going to work on this, guys. I'm going to work on the words I use. What other Stonemaier games are there? What other Stonemaier games are there? Pendulum, Tapestry, Red Rising, Euphoria. I talked a little bit about this in a video with Alex. I don't know when that's coming out. I don't know if it comes out before this, after this, never. Who knows? Euphoria does not get the love it deserves. That game should get more love because it's a good game. It's a good game. Does this go here maybe? That works. Does this go on top of it maybe? That works. That can go there. And then these I have to build. I'll build these, sure. I'm almost done. You guys can last. You can last through the rest of this. I don't know where this goes though. That'll just sit there for now. Euphoria does not get the love. It is a fantastic worker placement game with a tight integration of theme. Really, really sharp experience. One left, one right. Pop that out, pop that out. This is the left, this is the right. This and this. This. And this. And this. Oh dear. Come on. There we go. That's okay. We can do that now. Yeah, so it's just really good game. Deserves more love. Wingspan is okay. I'm not like huge on Wingspan. It's just a fine game to me. It's just fine. It's not something that I think is overly amazing. But there's a lot of people that would heavily disagree with me, and that's okay. You're allowed to. You are more than allowed to disagree with me that it's just an okay game. I finished the last one. You didn't have to watch it. I didn't want to subject you to that insanity of me popping stuff out. But I finished it. Which means that now that I've finished it, the game is ready to be boxed up and played at a later date. Not right now. Because, like, guys, I've got other stuff to do. Who gets to play the games after opening them? What maniac gets that life? That sounds like a rich and glorious one, which is not mine to live. Timestamp. That's about it for now. That's about it. And now you know, because it's Mike's super short show. Anybody? Anybody? Disney Channel? Anybody? It's okay. Have a good one.